Microsoft is laying off 1,900 employees across Xbox, Activision Blizzard, and ZeniMax. There's an update, so I'll read the original article. Um, I'll read the original article and then I'll go back to the update. Wow, this is a long update. That's a second update. Damn, this thing was okay. The original story continues below. Microsoft is laying off roughly 1,900 employees across its Xbox, Activision Blizzard, and ZeniMax teams. This news comes by way of IGN, which has learned from sources that Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer sent a memo to his staff explaining the layoffs. Spencer cites the need to align strategy with a sustainable cost structure. Notably, Microsoft spent $69 billion in October to acquire Call of Duty and Overwatch maker Activision Blizzard, and it spent $7.5 billion in 2020 to acquire ZeniMax Media. It's been a little over 3 months since the Activision Blizzard and King teams joined Microsoft. As we move forward in 2024, the leadership of Microsoft Gaming and Activision Blizzard is committed to aligning on a strategy and an execution plan with a sustainable cost structure that will support the whole of our growing business. Together, we've set priorities, identified areas of overlap, and ensured that we're all aligned to the best opportunities for growth. As part of this process, we have made the painful decision to reduce the size of our gaming workforce by approximately 1,900 roles out of the 22,000 people on our team. The gaming leadership team and I are committed to navigating this process as thoughtfully as possible. The people who are directly impacted by these reductions have all played an important part in the success of Activision Blizzard, ZeniMax, and the Xbox teams, and they should be proud of everything they've accomplished here. We are grateful for all the creativity, passion, and dedication they have brought to our games, our players, and our colleagues. We will provide our full support to those who are impacted during the transition, including severance benefits informed by local employment laws. Those whose roles will be impacted will be notified, and we ask that you please treat your departing colleagues with the respect and compassion that is consistent with our values. No, you're gonna spit on them as they leave for the final time. Looking ahead, we'll continue to invest in areas that will grow our business and support our strategy of bringing more games to more players around the world. Although this is a difficult moment for our team, I'm as confident as ever in your ability to create and nurture the games, stories, and worlds that bring players together. These jobs come just a week after Xbox's 2024 Developer Direct Showcase, which is what we learned. Senua's Sage Hellblade 2 will be released in May. What the first person combat in Obsidian's um, Avowed looks like, and that Square Enix Vision's Amana hits PlayStation, Xbox, and PC this summer. We also got our first look at Horror History Untold and the first taste of gameplay from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, or the Perfect Hexagon, or whatever that IGN editor called it. Machine Game's first-person take on the famed archaeologist that hits Xbox later this year. These Microsoft layoffs join a string of other jobs, which total more than 5,500 in the first 25 days of the year. I'm not going to cover all of this again. Okay, so now I'm just going to go to the updates because there have been a couple updates since the original story came out.
Right.
Um, this update came out a couple days ago, so Thursday morning. Blizzard president Mike Yara has announced he is departing from the company. He was not laid off as part of Microsoft's 1,900 job cuts across its various gaming divisions, but the timing suggests the layoffs and his decision to leave are at least tangentially related. Here's what Yahara wrote on Twitter. I want to thank everyone who was impacted today for their meaningful contributions to their team, to Blizzard, and to players' lives. It's an incredibly hard day, and my energy and support will be focused on all those amazing individuals impacted. This is in no way a reflection on your amazing work. If there's anything I can help with, connections, recommendations, etc., DM me. To the Blizzard community, I also want to let you know today is my last day at Blizzard. Leading Blizzard through an incredible time and being part of the team, shaping it for the future ahead was an absolute honor. Having already spent over 20 years at Microsoft and with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard behind us, it's time for me to once again become Blizzard's biggest fan from the outside. To the incredible teams at Blizzard, thank you. Words can't express how I feel about all of you. You're amazing. Continue to do incredible things and always keep Blizzard Blue and the player at the forefront of every decision. To all of those impacted today, I'm always available to you and understand how challenging today's news is. My heart is with each one of you. Yahara has worked at Blizzard since 2019, first as Executive Vice President and General Manager of Platform and Technology before becoming President of the company in 2021. Before that, he worked for Microsoft for more than 19 years in various positions like Corporate Vice President of Xbox Live and Game Pass and Partner Studio Manager for Xbox Studios. Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier is also reporting that Alan Adham, Chief Design Officer and Blizzard founder, is leaving the company following these layoffs, and that Odyssey, the studio's in-development survival game, has been canceled. That's the first update. Now let's go to the other update. Okay, here we go. This update happened a couple days ago in the afternoon. So
I
about
see.
so about 5 hours after the first update that I read. The Verge obtained the full internal memo sent to staff by Microsoft's game content and studios president Matt Booty. In it, he says following today's layoffs, the company is moving forward with a more focused strategy across Microsoft Gaming that sets up for sustainable growth and a better alignment of talent. Booty also addresses Blizzard president Mike Ybarra's departure and the cancellation of its in development survival game project. He said Blizzard's next president will be announced next week. Um, so I'm besides So I'm just going to skip the memo and stick to the news. Those who are impacted being informed in meetings starting today. Given the challenging day ahead, anyone who is set up to work from home and would prefer to can work remotely today. Due to time zones and local holidays, some impacted employees in APAC and EMEA will be informed later this evening and into early next week. After the notifications are complete, leaders will bring their teams together. Please be mindful of this process in your conversations and outreach during these next few days. Details on today's action. The changes announced today reflect a focus on product and strategies that hold the most promise for Blizzard's future growth, as well as identified area of overlap across Blizzard and Microsoft Gaming. Today's actions affect multiple teams within Blizzard, including development teams, shared service organizations, and corporate functions. As part of this focus, Blizzard is ending development on its survival game project and will be shifting some of the people working on it to one of several promising new projects Blizzard has in the early stages of development. No matter the reason behind these decisions, they are never made lightly. Changes like this affect the lives of colleagues and friends, and we are all grateful for their meaningful contributions to Blizzard and the world class lineup of games. As Phil stated, we will provide our full support to those who are impacted during the transition, including severance benefits informed by local employment laws. I understand this is a challenging time and can be a lot to process. I haven't met many of you yet, and hearing about these decisions from me may be difficult. Today, I am here on Blizzard's Inline campus, and I'm personally committed to supporting you as teams and individuals, keeping you informed and approaching this transition period with care and transparency. Thank you for working these changes with us. Together, we will create amazing games for our players with a culture that empowers everyone to be the most authentic selves and do their best work. Okay, this is weird. I mean, Microsoft purchases Activision Blizzard, and the first thing they do is lay off nearly 2,000 people.
Oh yeah.
I remember when it came through that the acquisition was final, it went through. Um, we were thinking, wow, games that are going to hit Game Pass. Look at the franchises they now have. No, they're just releasing 2,000 people.
Oh yeah.
I know Ubisoft, or not Ubisoft, I know Activision Blizzard had its own lawsuit problems that happened before Microsoft purchased them. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but it just it sounds like for people who were rooting for the acquisition to go through, this is what they're doing with it.
I mean, it'd been like more they could chew, Microsoft, but they just want to cut the bloat as well to whatever bloat they're thinking of it is, if it is bloat.
Yeah, let me pull up the article again. I didn't check the comments. I want to see if there is anything in the comments. Um, there are comments. Let's see if I can pull them up.
You expect Microsoft to have be a multi-billion-dollar company where we still have billions to spend or billions to maintain, but $7 billion, no, it's no chump change right there. So if they overspend, then that's their problem. You know.
Yeah. Zhang Master says, for me, I think spending 69 billion was a bad deal. All that money, and they turn around and can all those people. They always say like painful decision, like they actually care. Hope everyone bounces back. Ashman says, I agree it was a bad deal. Call of Duty seems like it has steadily been going downhill with this last year being the worst. I wonder how Diablo 4 numbers are doing. Drew Cheats says D4 came out of the Diablo 4 came out of the gate like gangbusters, highest selling Blizzard game upon release in their history, allegedly. But it's in a rough spot right now due to over exaggerated player expectations and a general misunderstanding among new players on how seasons work. Blizzard shares in a fall as well as the game is spread too thin, but with each season they seem making improvements and heading in the right direction, in my honest opinion. Yeah, so that's basically the first guy. Let me pull up his name again. Zangmaster. He said the same thing I did. They had access to over 20 different new franchises, and this is what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to say, or ready to move
Well,
on?
I want to say that we've already been at peace with it several months over the last couple of years, and it's like, you know, what's they're going to do? They're try to cut more workers, and in the process of maintaining that $7 billion threshold, they overcompensate for. I mean, that's their fault, Microsoft, for pulling that amount off, for it to be risky.
Yeah,
So, because PlayStation, what did they bought? How many studios so far? Like $1 billion here, $5 billion here, but 70 billion for Activision Blizzard. That's like, yes, it's a big company, Activision Blizzard, for all the games they produce and
and then they
sold
spent
and make profit. You know,
and then they spent 7.5 billion on ZeniMax.
crazy man, it was crazy. All these acquisitions for what? For just the sake of like make sure that there's competition coming to making. You know, that's bad on their part, Microsoft. Like, it's not that big to begin with, but it's big enough to maintain its own. You know.
Right. Yeah. So, um, we were happy when we. I remember when we heard the news that the acquisition went through. We were. Remember, I pulled up the franchises that Microsoft now had access to, and we were picking out games we were hoping that would get a sequel or a remake.
Mhm.
But no, this is what they did instead.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
Sounds like you just could have taken that money and thrown it off a bridge.
Well, Phil Spencer said he admits defeat at the same time for Microsoft Activision and is on his part. Like, unless he's totally his fault or his actual command or his own actual portion in making that happen, but he has have a hand in what with the acquisition over the last couple of years now. So he knows better that $7 billion is way too much money, or that he should have done something more with that money, with like maintaining that power over other gaming companies, which they're trying to do with this acquisition. So it's a big one for them to do, but it's
But the way he
this
can make that money back is by like I said, we is by bringing back those IPs that have been dormant for years.
yeah. And he said one of them was the one the 50 Cent video game. What was it called again?
Bulletproof and then Blood on the Sand.
Yeah, that's those games back on the franchise again, on franchise block.
Well, if they bring Bulletproof again, at least make the hit detection better.
Yeah.
Blood on the
A
Sand actually
remaster.
was pretty well.
Yeah, like a remaster of the game.
Yeah. Well, no. Instead, they did this.
There's the things. I
Uh,
think the
but
next one is gonna be the same thing too.
yeah.